inside the 30 at the 27.
So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
I still remember back in 2013 when he was drafted out of West Virginia. He was coming off of back-to-back 4,000-yard seasons for the Mountaineers. Hadn't seen as much game time in recent years, but at one point, a capable starter in the NFL.
They'll run here with Raheem Mostert. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Now during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. Well, you hate to see this before the regular season even begins. And we'll take a break and come back. More preseason action in a moment. Second down, here's Mostert again. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front, and the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Throwing now is Geno. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and that's going to bring up second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Second and 9.
Delay of game, offense.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
Still second down.
Now Geno. And they'll get this on the screen to Mostert. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down.
And as you're game planning as a staff, you go through all the different ways you can neutralize the other guy's pass rushers. Extra linemen, leave a tight end in, bring the running backs back in to block. Or you can do this, a little simple screen pass, and it works to perfection.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up first and 10 at the 44-yard line. A run with Mostert up the middle. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
Here's a second and 8. Again, they'll run it with Mostert. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. On the handoff, it's Madison. Wiggles free. And some nifty running right away as he'll get this up past the 30. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Well, injury's never good, especially here in the preseason. Hopefully nothing serious. They'll take a look at him, and we'll step aside for a moment. to the ground on first down. Here's Madison.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Not a big run, not an explosive run, but they've held the ball for plenty of plays on this drive. They're just trying to impose their will on the defense right now.
This is 2nd and 8.
Back to throw, Smith. Being chased out left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
Partner, there's a downside to everything, and the danger of man coverage is if you're locking down your target, you often turn your back to the quarterback, and you don't see him. Sometimes you open up a big lane for him to hit you for big yardage, and that was an astute play by him to scramble out, see that lane, and burn them for a first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. But they get back in the huddle. He's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain.
Now 2nd and 9 from the 10.
They'll try the air now with Smith. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave them trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Here's Smith. Caught on the slant. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Hunter Renfrow from 10 yards out.
And the Raiders are on the board first here this afternoon.
A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the 4th quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. So that drive, 12 plays in length.
And it was Hunter Renfrow who kept.
On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So here are the Vikings to go on offense for the first time, and it's a rookie at the helm, the 10th overall pick back in April out of Michigan, J.J. McCarthy.
And it doesn't feel like that long ago that when a quarterback was drafted in the 1st round, he would sit for a while, learn from a veteran. But these days, you're in the mix right away to be the starter week 1. But he has to earn it, and that begins right here with the first preseason game.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Working out of the gun is McCarthy. That's complete to Justin Jefferson.
We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so offense has to be.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Call it a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now.
And here's Ryan Wright now. Hunter Renfrow deep to return for the Raiders.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So possession goes. on the punt. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. He's going to drop this underneath to Mostert. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
Quick throw caught out wide by Renfro. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Up the middle they go with Mostert. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out. And they gave up no cutback angle. You know he's trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's 2nd down at 7. Off of play action. Here's Smith sliding out of the pocket. That one complete to Trey Tucker. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down. Had the offense humming on the first drive. Not much has changed here on drive number 2.
No, and I think a lot of times confidence just really kicks in for a team. They may have been confident going into the game, but once you prove it on a drive, it's hard to get out of that mindset, isn't it? And look, let's face it, we can always lock in on the skill position, guys. Those big fellas up front, they're really making this offense go early in the game.
Smith steps away to his left. They'll get just a yard on the scramble at 2nd down.
That's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish it as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
Smith. Tucker hauls it in over the middle. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Viking 16. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Gino now to throw. They'll get this into the hands of Mostert. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
Smith now to throw. Nowhere to turn this time. He goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Jonathan Greener running in to pick up the sack.
Yeah, some real defensive resistance there. Saying not so fast to a good drive. They had marched to the end zone the last time out.
Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. They're going to look to throw. And that ball incomplete. Nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one.
lead to a fourth down.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. So another scoring drive there, Charles, and an early 2-score lead.
Partner, but you'll take the 3, and I think they have to be happy about the way they moved the ball in these first 2 drives. They have to feel good about their opportunities the rest of the game.
And he takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football. From the 29, here's 2nd down and 7. As they've got it as we resume action. The man who played his college ball in Tallahassee, here's Cam Akers. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all. Here is 3rd and 5. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
They'll run on first down with Akers. And a good run here as he'll run all the way down to the 40-yard line. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory, right at the 40. Going right back to Akers. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down about the 39. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the Raiders 39.
Now Jones. He's got this one complete to Sherfield. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 13-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. They run for the first time with Ty Chandler. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Throwing Jones. That's into the hands of Akers, complete. And they're going to drop him well shy of the 1st as he can only make it to the 11. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down. Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is indeed good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So a good job there to kind of weather the storm in that first quarter and come back with their first points in the ball game.
Yeah, you hate to be coming from behind early on, but you're exactly right. They took some time, able to move the ball, and now it's back to a 10-3 game.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. Well, you hate to see this before the regular season even begins. Come back, more preseason action in a moment.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive.
And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met. Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. But the converse is, though, you've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
First carry of the game for Zamir White. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give them 12 yards that time, and a Las Vegas first.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
They go play action here on first down. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early.
So a PI call going to cost him there defensively. What did you see?
Well, I think it's the right call, partner, because sometimes we'll see officials kind of let them play. But by the letter of the law, that's definitely a penalty.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Off play action. Carter. Thomas brings it in. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in.
Kevin O'Connell clearly unhappy with that call, and he's thrown that red challenge flag
Previous
out on the
play
field.
is under review.
Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
After review
So
of
the
play,
challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass.
Here's Madison running on first down. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
Now a 2nd and 2.
Back to throw. Carter.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They overloaded that time with a safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was a strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
The kick by Carlson is good, and they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3.
So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
The Vikings ready to go again on offense. They trail by 10, 13-3 as they come up on a 1st and 10. They'll begin on the ground with Akers. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
And this will be a Vikings 1st down as he'll get this up to about the 42.
And that's a nice pickup of a 1st down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
They'll go again here with Akers. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. From the 44-yard line, here's a 2nd and 8. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. This one finding the hands of Brandon Powell. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 43. They'll go with Akers here up the middle. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
From the 41, Jones. That is caught by Josh Oliver, the former San Jose State Spartan. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2. Operating from the gun, Jones. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Jones. This will be caught just inside the 10. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. 2nd down and 8.
At the 8-yard line.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Powell. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the 1st half. On 3rd down, here's a run by Akers. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. And with just 4 seconds left in this 1st half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This is a fairly straightforward 22-yard short attempt. And his kick is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it
at their own 30-yard line.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So we have reached halftime in our first preseason matchup of the year, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. Back to you guys in just a minute as we've started the countdown to opening night. Remember, the preseason has shrunk from 4 games down to 3. So just 2 more weeks of preseason action follow this, and then we get it all started on the first Thursday after Labor Day. In our game, most of the starters have made their cameo and departed, but plenty of youngsters out there with a lot to gain or lose as we get you right back out to Brandon Gaudin.
And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. Now come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense. In the third. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
Jones off the play fake. Jones in trouble here, and down he goes. Tyree Wilson using that athletic ability to make the play.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it. And that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
So a change of possession here on the punt. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready. Possession of the second half. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. And that is incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. That's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Here's 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun, Carter. Over the middle, complete. It's Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The rookie from Nebraska looking sharp on that one. First down.
That's really good play design right there, and it's one that comes down to the offensive line. It's a deep in route, but it's only going to work if that line gives you time in the pocket to wait for the route to develop. Mission accomplished there as they pick up the first down.
First down, here's White. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They stay on the ground with White. Oh, and that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Operating from the gun, Carter. And incomplete, he dropped it. Maybe a rookie mistake there, 2nd down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
2nd and 10. Back to throw. Carter. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked by Cameron Bynum. And the Vikings are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line.
First week of the preseason, probably not the pass the impression that the rookie wants to leave right there.
Yeah, no probably about it, because that's not what you want to do to try and impress your new coaching staff, try to impress your locker room, and most importantly, yourself. Probably spent all night last night saying, don't throw an interception early. Make sure you take care of the football. Now he's got it out of the way. Hopefully he can just settle in and move on.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So he gets too far beyond the line, and that's an easy call for the official.
Still 1st down.
Jones now. Off play action. That's out to the flat for Akers. And he'll go out of bounds. Looks like right at the 15. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be 2nd down. Operating from the gun, Jones. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Backed up here. Tough spot. Needing 11 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that one to the right side and incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. Found good room to run there. Returns at 14 yards. Yeah, the Raiders will have a short as they take over. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And they're going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. So they were down by a touchdown, probably just hoping the defense could hold them, maybe force the punt. Instead, they force the turnover and take it into the house.
Well, the plan was perfect. That's exactly what they wanted. Instead, they got a lot more than that. By taking the ball away and putting it in the end zone.
Point after, right down the middle. And that will tie things up at 13. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Raiders offense ready to go. And let's just say they're over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
Now Carter throwing to start the drive. He'll find his man, Terrace Marshall, complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. Looking to throw. Carter. And he rifles one incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
On the toss, Madison. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but he did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
Carter now from the gun on 3rd down. He's got it at the 15. And he will go out of bounds down at the 15-yard line. It's a big play there for Vegas. 47 yards.
When you get into the second half of a tie ball game, you start realizing that every play takes on a bigger significance, and this is pretty significant right here. This is where you start putting the pressure on that secondary, and that's a job well done there.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They'll go Madison up the middle. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
This pass into the hands of Turner. So they'll get nothing out of that play, and that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Back to throw. Carter. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. This will wind up a loss on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. Daniel Carlson set for the Raider field goal. From the left hash, just a 32-yard attempt. The kick by Carlson is good. And with it, they have taken the lead. So it's his 3rd field goal now with the ball game, and they needed his leg this last one.
Back and forth kind of a game, hasn't it? Now you got to tell your defense, guys, need you to make this stand up because we got the momentum going in the right direction, but we need you to make sure we carry it home.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll try and run for this with Akers. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
Partner, that's another short run there, and I think the easy thing is to look at them right now and say, let's get away from them entirely. Let's start throwing the football, but I don't think you ever entirely abandon the run. It helps set a tone for the game for you, keeps your offensive linemen feeling good about themselves, and it actually tamps down a defense's pressure because if you just throw it all the time, it's going to tee off with the pass rush.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And they split the uprights last. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Terrace Marshall, 82 yards. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And, Charles, I had an offensive coordinator tell me one time that they design every play to score. I don't know how true that is. I mean, he had to run a long way after that catch. Heck.
I think that when he was telling you that, he was designing run after catch in every play. I mean, that's the only way to put it in there, and that's what we got on that one. Nice catch, an even better run for big yardage.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Vikings offense and their running back getting set to go once more. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Ja'Cory Bennett has it, and they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that it's designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here. And
it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
This goes out wide from Madison. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring it down. Buried behind the line by Shaquille Griffin on the corner blitz.
Well, this has turned into an absolute week to forget for this quarterback. Multiple sacks, pair that with multiple turnovers. As far as he's concerned, if he ever sees this defense again, it'll be way too soon.
So here's a 3rd and 14. Operating from the gun, Carter. Buying time to his left. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Here's A.J. Cole now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And that'll hit it. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the fourth. A give up the middle to Akers. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more.
That's good. For Vikings, first down. First and 10.
Looking to throw. Jones.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. They'll set up the screen here to Akers.
And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the first down marker. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now fourth down.
And here's Ryan Wright now,
as he's on for the 5th time here today. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return.
and it'll be Raiders football, first and 10.
The Vegas offense.
next possession. Well, there are two scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. The drive starts with a run by White. That's to about the 28. Second down coming up.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They keep it on the ground. White again. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring out the third down. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
And this offense on third down today, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 7. Ritter now. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Good clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get them off the field with a 3 and out.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they have had problems getting the running game in gear as we look through some of their attempts from earlier. They have just not been able to match the physicality that this defense has shown. And their lack of success on the ground is a direct reflection of. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. The tackle there by Marcus Epps. Ball on the 30 now. Here's a 2nd and 7. Back to throw. Jones. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Powell. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. From the shotgun, here's a give to Akers. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 64 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right, they did pick up the first down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
At the 42-yard line.
On 2nd and 7, Jones over the middle, complete. That's Chandler. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 32-yard line.
Vikings, first down. 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Looking to throw. Jones. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Then their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 10.
Back to throw again. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
Like any team playing, they're looking for touchdowns to try and help their cause. But in this case, he does get them a little closer at least if they think a field goal turns out to be the better call here.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and this is back down to a 7-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Here's ready to take the field. Their lead back down to 1 score after the field goal a moment ago, so they'll be looking to string together a few first downs, likely on the ground as they begin 1st and 10. On play action, here's Ritter. Targeting Thomas on the out route, making the catch. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. They run straight ahead here with White. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. 9 yards is the pickup there. They'll have a 2nd and 1. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge. Well, you know me, partner. I never tell them to back off of being aggressive, but sometimes you see the consequences when you're overly aggressive and you don't secure tackles. Guys break through.
Trying to sell out to pry that football loose, and just as you said, cost some yardage.
Yeah, you got to go get him. Stand him up first before you go for the ball. Don't just go for it initially.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Opting to run again here with White. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Well, at this stage, that's exactly what you want offensively. Good run on 1st down, stay in bounds, keep that clock rolling.
And look at that play chart that the play caller has in his hands right now. That's what you got to focus in on because that's divided up by sections. And right now, he's looking at that 4-minute offense section. What running plays do we have to bleed down the clock and take care of the football? Right now, they're executing really well.
Now a give up the middle. This is White. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
They'll go up the middle with White. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Now a give to White. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame.
And remember, no overtime here in preseason. This offense hoping that's a moot issue as they try to finish this one off.
On 3rd down, a run from White. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter play. Carlson able to put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further.
So that one, CD, going to make the road back a lot more difficult.
Oh, there's no doubt about on the other sideline for a miss, because now, as you pointed out, a very difficult road. Down 2 scores. You don't just need a touchdown. You need a chain of events to go your way. You've got to score, somehow get the ball back, and score again. The odds of that happening, not great in your favor.
So all eyes on this Vikings offense. Down by 10. A minute 44 to go. You can't say the preseason isn't interesting. This has been great as they come up 1st and 10. Jones. Drops this underneath for Chandler. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Jones. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, it's pretty difficult to sum it up offense in a 2-minute drill when your guys have struggled to put points on the board all afternoon. There's an incompletion right there.
Here's Jones. Jones in trouble here, and down he goes.
A lot on the line here, even for just a preseason game. Jobs to be won and lost. It's 3rd down.
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here.
The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's 4th down.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Raiders with the foot. Excellent field position. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. On the give, it's White. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up. So this one, a victory for the Raiders. So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. From Minneapolis, so long, everybody.